Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that's going to be talking about how I grew my hair long. So currently my hair sits about an inch or two above my butt, so it's past waist length but not quite tailbone length. And I've been growing my hair now for about 9 years. I big chopped my hair back in 2009, but before that I transitioned for 11 months. To me, that's about 9 years of natural hair growth, even though it's only 8 years of being completely natural. I really just want to share my experience with growing my hair long and how I did it, because I feel like there are some people who feel like they just can't grow their hair long. I feel like there are some people who feel like black people can't grow hair at all. Although there are so many women with beautiful long hair, there are still some people who believe it can't happen. So I'm going to help you guys by just sharing exactly what I did to grow my hair long. And I want to give you guys like real life advice, because there are things that people always say which are definitely helpful, but there are also just some tips that I picked up along my journey that really did help out. And I just want to let you guys know what that is. Okay, so my very first tip is believe that you can grow your hair whatever length that you want to grow it. Basically, if you want to grow your hair to your butt, you can. If you want to grow your hair to your knees, you can. It's just a matter of how you take care of your ends, because your hair from your scalp is always growing out. That's why you need relaxers consistently. If your hair wasn't growing, you could get a relaxer and all of your hair from root to tip would stay straight. But because your hair is growing, that's what that new growth is. That's hair that's coming out of your scalp that never experienced that chemical relaxer because it grew after the fact. That's just my very first tip. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I know that's so corny, but honestly, having long hair is not that hard. It's more so just a culmination of having good hair practices and then consistently doing that over a span of time. So it doesn't just happen overnight. It happens over a span of time if you're diligently taking care of your hair. In order for you to grow long hair, you have to do everything you can to retain the length that's naturally coming out of your scalp. And the way that you do that is by maintaining your ends, because your ends are the oldest, driest parts of your hair. They're like your elders, I like to call them. So you really have to treat them gently because they've been with you the longest. So there are certain habits that I had before I was able to grow my hair long that caused breakage that I cut out when I wanted to have long hair. So the first one is detangling. With natural hair, you really have to find the detangling method that works for you. And I tried a lot of them. I tried using a wide tooth comb, using a wet brush. I tried even using like a paddle brush, just because I had no idea like why certain utensils weren't working for me. And it ended up being because my hair doesn't like any utensils at all. So for the past couple of years, I've exclusively finger detangled, and the only time I put a comb or brush in my hair is when I was getting it straightened and when I went to the salon. So I only finger detangle my hair, and that helps me retain so much length, because combs and brushes really can't work out knots and separate your hair. All they do is just rip right through them, and your hair feels like it's completely detangled because you're just ripping out the knots. Whereas when you finger detangle, you're able to feel the knots and then stop, take a break, and just pull the knot apart so you can get all the hair loose and free, and you don't have to lose any hair at all. So the next tip I have that really helps me retain as much length as possible is deep conditioning consistently. This is so important. It's so important. My hair texture, my hair pattern, just the healthiness of my hair changed drastically when I started deep conditioning regularly. And that's because a deep conditioner is the only product in your hair routine that can actually infuse into your hair shaft and get to your hair's cortex, which is like the very center of your hair. It's the core of your hair. And if you didn't deep condition, no product would ever penetrate your hair and deliver nutrients like your hair needs. Everything would just sit on top, and therefore your hair wouldn't be healthy from the inside out. So deep conditioning is super important. I deep condition every week and a half to 2 weeks. Now that my hair is longer, I usually can stretch wash day until about 2 weeks. I used to deep condition every 7 days. I would wash my hair every week. Even if you're just co-washing or just rinsing your hair, I would still deep condition, because you need to give your hair that consistent and frequent moisture. And I do have a video on how to deep condition correctly, because that's also really important if you want to retain your length, and I'll have that linked on the screen. So my next tip is feeding your body what it needs to thrive. So if you think of your hair as a plant and also your body as a plant, because having long and healthy hair really starts when your body is healthy. Your body does this thing where it puts nutrients to the organs that need it the most. And if your organs aren't in good shape, the nutrients that you're putting in your body aren't going to go to your hair. It's going to go to the organs that need it the most so that you can conserve life pretty much. Your body is pretty cool like that, you know. Self-preservation is more important than having healthy hair. So if you want to have healthy hair, you have to make sure that your body is in line first, and then those extra nutrients will go to your hair. So eating healthy is very, very, very important. Of course, you can have long hair without eating healthy, but it's not going to be as healthy as possible. It may be long, but it's not going to be as healthy as it possibly can, just because you're not as healthy as you possibly can. And a plant can't grow from dry, you know, nutrient deprived dirt. Not saying that you're dirt, but you get what I mean. So basically, you want to eat healthy. You want to drink as much water as possible. When your body is moisturized how it should be on the inside, your hair is also moisturized internally, and you don't have to put so much product on it to keep it from getting dry so easily. Exercising is also helpful. It's not something that was a very big part of my hair journey, but exercising and just moving your body in general helps to circulate blood flow. And when your blood is nutrient rich because you're eating a balanced diet and then you're circulating that blood throughout your body, it's going to go to your scalp, which is going to go to your hair. So it is very helpful. And if it's hard for you to eat all the nutrients that you need in a day, which for me, it really, really is, especially because I restarted my healthy hair journey in college. It was really hard for me to eat the nutrients that I needed on a regular basis because I was barely eating at all, being a broke college student. So hair vitamins do help in that situation. Or even if you aren't in college and you just find it hard to eat all the nutrients that you need, hair vitamins are helpful. So I tried pure biotin, and although biotin really helped my hair grow, like I could feel my hair growing every day. I could feel it getting longer every day. I was breaking out crazy. Like I had cystic acne everywhere, and I'm already acne prone, so I stopped taking biotin, and I was pretty scared to try any hair vitamins after that point until I found the Main Choice Manetabolism hair vitamins. Now these vitamins to me are the best hair vitamins on the market. Granted, I've only tried 2, but just having such bad breakouts with the biotin, like that was traumatic for me. And when I tried the Main Choice hair vitamins, not only did it not break me out, but my hair did grow quicker. It was also much stronger than if I wasn't taking the vitamins, and it was a lot thicker. I'm gonna insert a picture here basically showing you guys when I started the vitamins and then 3 months later how my hair looked. Now keep in mind with this picture, not only did I start the hair vitamins, but during the 3-month span in between the before and after picture, I also was drinking a lot more water. I was finger detangling, I was deep conditioning regularly, and I was protective styling my hair. This is when I first restarted my healthy hair journey. And the difference between the 3 months that are in the pictures is astounding. Like, it's crazy. So all of those tips really do work. So after you figure out how you're gonna get your vitamins every day, once you get on a deep conditioning schedule, and when you figure out what detangling method works for you, you also wanna figure out how are you gonna style your hair for maximum growth. Now this is gonna differ between person to person and between different hair types, and I can only speak for my hair type. So I have low porosity, fine hair, and my hair pattern varies between like a wavy texture and a very tight curly texture. So what works for me is keeping my hair from tangling on itself. Because I have such fine hair, my hair literally tangles when the wind blows. Like I could finish detangling my entire head and then just like shake it a little bit and it would be tangled. Like there would be certain curls that are tangled again. So for me, what works best is keeping my hair in a protective style throughout the week and then washing my hair before it has time to tangle up. And how I do that, I have a few videos on it actually. I'll have those linked on the screen as well as down below. But I'll wear a protective style for about 5 to 7 days, and then I'll let my hair be out for about 2 to 3 days just so I can enjoy my hair a little bit, because what's the purpose of growing long, beautiful hair if you can't enjoy it? So at the 2 to 3 day mark, I go ahead and wash my hair, and if I catch it at that time, my detangling process is super easy. I have minimal breakage because I have minimal tangles. But if I go past the 2 to 3 day mark, which as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit lazier, and sometimes I do go past that 2 or 3 day mark, my wash day is very long and arduous because I have so many tangles. And now I've got to the point where I know how to work my tangles out without breaking my hair. It just takes a lot of time. So I say save yourself the headache, save yourself the breakage, if any, and just wear your hair in a style that keeps your hair from getting tangled, and then wash your hair before you get big knots in your hair. It'll just save you, it'll save your ends pretty much. So another tip that really helped me with growing my hair was documenting my process. So a lot of the times we don't realize the condition of our bodies, at least with me. Like, I'll look in the mirror and be like, oh yes, my hair looks huge today. And then I'll take a picture of that day, and 4 months later I'll be like, oh my God, my hair was so small. Like, I thought my hair was so big and it was like so short. And I don't know if that's just me, but I guess I see myself differently in the mirror than I see myself in pictures. And it just helps to document your progress. It really, really does. And the picture of my hair before I tried the vitamins and after, to me, I didn't notice any difference in my hair at all day to day. But then looking at those pictures, I can see like, wow, my hair really has changed. And that let me know that what I was doing was working. If I had never taken those pictures, I don't know if I would be in the situation that I am in now, because I may not have continued the regimen that I was doing. So it's really helpful to take pictures and also to document what you're doing on your wash days, just like the different techniques you're trying, the different products, if you're trying any hair vitamins, how that works. And what I found that works best for me is actually an app called Hair Journal. This isn't a sponsored post. They don't even know who I am, but I started using this app about 2 to 3 years ago when I first restarted my healthy hair journey, and it helped me so much because you can do everything on this app. You can write down dates that you want to meet your goals. You can write down what you're doing every wash day. Like, it has a calendar feature on the app, and you can write down what you're doing on certain days to boost your hair growth or the health of your hair. You can also take a lot of pictures, and I don't use the app anymore just because I've kind of gotten my regimen down and I know what works for me at this point. But if I look back through all the pictures that I took over the course of time that I used it, my hair improved dramatically. Like, it's really sad actually to look back at the pictures when I thought my hair was healthy and to look at it now. I say just find a method that works best for you with documenting, and that might just be taking pictures, that might be writing it down. For me, I'm a very detail-oriented person, so I want to know like everything I was doing on this day that was getting me these results that I was getting. And in case something really, really works, I don't want to forget it, you know? Something else that really helped me retain the length that I was growing is trimming my hair. Now, I know that sounds counterproductive, but just hear me out. So your hair naturally grows from your scalp, and it's your job to retain the hair that you're growing by maintaining your ends and the length of your hair. Now, if you do get a split end on your ends and you don't cut it off, that split end is just going to keep traveling up the shaft of your hair. It's going to be thinner on the ends, it's going to be weaker, and because your hair is weaker, when you do your styling, it's going to be easier to break off on the ends. And then because it's breaking off, and it's just breaking off in a jagged way, it's not being cut to the healthy point, it's just going to continue to break off. So if you let that go on, your hair is just going to continue to split, it's going to continue to get weak, and it's going to continue to break off, and you're not going to see any length retention because your ends aren't healthy. In order for you to retain length and have healthy hair, you have to basically nip the problem areas in the bud before they become a problem for your whole entire head. So the way that I do that, I found that for me, and again, this is because I have fine hair. If I didn't have fine hair, I probably wouldn't have to trim as often, but I trim my hair every 3 months, but I don't trim a lot. So I trim off about 1/2 inch every 3 months, and over the course of 3 months, I probably grow about 1.5 inches of hair, so I'm still gaining length. Even though I wear my hair in protective styles and I'm really diligent about not breaking my hair off, I do have fine hair, and it's just naturally susceptible to breakage, and I just have to accept that. So the way that I combat that is by just having regular trim. So before I was on my second healthy hair journey, I was trimming my hair every 8 months because I had heard people say that, you know, prolonging the trim can help you retain your length better. And for some people that definitely does work, but for my hair type, it does not. So I say find what trimming schedule works best for you and then stick to it. Don't be afraid of the trim. It really, really helps. And if your goal is to have healthy hair, it's just gonna look so much better when all of your ends are even, everything is full and just juicy and luscious. So don't be afraid of the trim. It actually helps your hair grow. Another tip that's more like a real life tip that I found is that I don't swim in chlorine pools, or I don't get my hair wet in chlorine pools. Now, I'm an active girl. I love going outside. I love like doing all types of just exercise and activities, but the chlorine in swimming pools is just way too drying for my hair. And when my hair is that dry and then I go to try to wash it and detangle it, it causes breakage. My hair just feels gross, and it takes me a while to nurse my hair back to the moisture levels that it was at before I got into the pool. So I don't recommend swimming in chlorine pools just because the chemicals are very, very harsh. Now I can swim in the ocean just fine because it's just salt, I guess, and once I get out the ocean I just rinse my hair, get the salt out, you know, then I wash it and do my business. But salt water is way less harsh than pool water is, so that's just a tip to keep in mind, especially during the summer months. Also, finding the right products that work for your hair can help growing long hair. Now there's not going to be one product that helps you grow your hair, but there are products that will work well with your hair type that help you retain your length, and you have to find out what those products are. And for me, products that truly moisturize my hair and really keep it soft and supple and feed my hair are completely natural, lightweight products. So brands like Mielle Organics, Oyen, some Obia Naturals products, some Camille Rose Naturals products, because even they can get kind of thick sometimes, but just brands that have really high quality ingredients and have products that aren't so thick really work well in my hair type. And I have a few videos on my favorite hair products, so I'll have those linked for you guys down below. I'm just gonna have a bunch of resources for you guys linked down below, but basically you do want to find hair products that work in your hair type, because that can save you breakage. It can save you from having to manipulate your hair often because a product doesn't work for you and now you have to fix your hair to make it look presentable for the rest of the week. And also finding a really good detangling conditioner, my absolute favorite. I've tried so many and a lot of them work well, but they don't work as well as the Oyen handmade detangling conditioner. That conditioner is Life Bay. I don't know if I'll ever use anything else. It's the best detangling conditioner. And if I didn't have that conditioner, I would have way more breakage on wash day than I already do, because nothing gives me slip and moisture like that conditioner. So again, there isn't a product that's gonna be like the holy grail product that makes your hair grow, but there are products that will help you retain length, and over time, your hair will grow longer. I just have a few more tips for you guys left, and one of them is minimal heat. Having long hair becomes sort of like a lifestyle over time. If you're really focused on having healthy hair, like I said, it's more so a culmination of healthy hair practices that you do over a span of time, and eventually it just becomes like your normal of what you do. But when I first started my natural hair journey back in 2008, it was really hard for me not to use heat, and I would challenge myself, like, for 30 days I'm not going to use heat. For 60 days I'm not going to use heat. I have to figure out some style that my hair still looks good without using heat. And then over time, it just became so easy that I didn't even want to use heat. And since then, I just don't use heat. I feel like not using heat really helps with the integrity of your hair, the health of your hair, the shine of your hair, the fullness of your hair, the thickness of your hair, because heat takes moisture out of your hair. When you're blow drying your hair, you're taking and sucking the moisture out. No matter how gently you do it, no matter how cool the setting is, you're still taking moisture out of your hair to get your hair dry. When you're flat ironing it, you're ironing your hair with heat. And of course, in small doses, it's really nothing to be afraid of, but if you're flat ironing your hair every 2 days or even every week, like, you are frying your hair. You're not letting your hair thrive and do its thing naturally. And if something can't be what it is, it's not going to grow to its best potential. So there was actually a period in my natural hair journey where I didn't use heat for 5 years, and I feel like that really has helped with the health of my hair. Even though I didn't have the best hair care practices during that time period, not using heat still helped me to maintain length, and my hair was better for it. So even if you don't cut out heat entirely, just limiting the amount of heat that you use, like if you go to the salon and get your hair straightened, or you straighten your hair at home and it starts to get a little frizzy, don't re-straighten it. Don't try to touch it up with the flat iron 2 to 3 days later, or even 1 to 2 weeks later. Just let it do its thing. Like if it gets frizzy, I mean, we have frizzy hair and there's nothing wrong with frizz, so just let it frizz out. You can do some pin curls, you can do some bantu knots, you can wrap it to see if that kind of pushes the frizz down. But if your hair isn't perfectly straight, that's completely okay. Don't hurt your hair trying to keep it in one particular style. And that's another thing that's really helped me along the way, is not trying to do so much to your hair just to get it into a style that you're hurting your hair. So for instance, I don't like to wear my hair in ponytails often because it strains my hair and it pulls out the hair around my edges. And I had to learn, like, if I'm gonna do a ponytail, it may not be the sleekest, but at least my hair is going to be healthy and it's gonna be long after the day that I wear this ponytail. You have to kind of think like in the future and not so in the moment. Another thing is like laying your edges. I didn't even lay my edges today. I literally took my hair out my bonnet and shook it. But laying your edges every single day puts stress on your edges. Doing anything multiple times or consistently puts stress on something. If you think of your hair like silk and you're constantly rubbing the silk, you're constantly applying product, you're constantly combing it, you're going to wear the silk down. It's not going to be at its healthiest, it's not going to be the shiniest, you know, it's going to get a little dull, it's going to get a little frayed, it's going to get pretty weak. And if you took that dull, frayed strand of silk next to a strand of silk that hasn't experienced any of that, when you pull it, that dull strand is going to break way easier than the strand that hasn't experienced any of those pressures and manipulations. So just try not to manipulate your hair so often. I don't really focus on doing low manipulation hairstyles because it's just become a part of my lifestyle. But in the very beginning, I did focus on that. Like, how can I style my hair where I don't have to do much to it throughout the weeks? And having low manipulation hairstyles really does help with maintaining length because you're not messing with your hair. So my last two tips for you are to protect your hair and also to have patience. So whenever I go to sleep at night, I always tie my hair up for a couple of reasons. And the first is that my pillowcases are cotton, and if I were to put my hair directly on the cotton pillowcase, cotton is a natural moisture wicking fabric. It's gonna pull the moisture out of my hair just because that's what it does. And my hair isn't wet, so it's pulling out the moisture that I need in my hair for the rest of the week. So I like to wear a satin or silk scarf to bed because with satin and silk, your hair just slips past it instead of getting snagged on the cotton and the cotton drying your hair out. Silk and satin don't do that. So it's really important that you either tie up your hair, especially your ends, or if you're not a fan of tying up your hair, you can just get silk or satin pillowcases. That way, as you're sleeping and tossing and turning, your hair is still protected. Now, I have hair that gets frizzy very easily. So even if I were to use a silk or satin pillowcase, my hair would still be frizzy in the morning, even if it was protected. And that's another reason why I like to use a scarf or a bonnet, because if I tie my hair up at night, it minimizes the frizz that I'll have in the morning, and that minimizes the manipulation I'll have to do to my hair when I wake up. So wearing a bonnet can save your hair in more ways than one. And then also, patience is super duper important because hair just takes a while to grow. Like, that's just the natural order of things. You can take a hair vitamin to help it grow a little bit faster. You can do tricks like putting your head down for a week, like the inversion method. I'm not gonna lie, I've tried the inversion method and it does work to an extent, but at the same time, I don't know how healthy it is. And for me, it wasn't sustainable. So hair is going to grow slowly and steadily over time. So I first started growing my natural hair in 2008 and it's 2017. So that's 9 years of growing hair, 9 years of learning. And even if my hair had grown just magically within the first 2 years, I would not have known how to take care of it to keep my hair that length. So embrace the journey, embrace the process. Your hair will get to the goal that you have set as long as you're taking care of it, and you can do it. All right, you guys, so that's all of my advice for growing your hair long and healthy. If you have any questions or if there's anything that I missed, please leave them down below. If you guys would like to see a video on particular products that really helps me in my healthy hair journey, I would love to do that video for you guys just so I can have it all in one place. But just let me know if you guys want to see that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe so you can see more from me in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.